Hello there and welcome back to another video. So today we will be covering module, package and built-in libraries in a Python. So let's jump into the Python code editor. And in Python, code organization and reusability are achieved using a module and packages. Okay, so we are going to learn about this first. So what is a module in a Python? So module is any Python file with the extension .py. Okay, so any Python file is a module in a Python, very simple. And what is a package? So package is a directory that contains a specific file name, which is underscore underscore init underscore underscore .py. And how do you create a package? It's just simply right click on your project, click on new, and you can choose a Python project. Okay. So if I want to create a new package, let's say I name it as a demo. Okay. And you see it automatically creates init.py init. Okay. So that's how Python understand this is a package. Okay. So I have already created two packages. So I'm going to delete this demo one. Going to delete this demo one. I have already created two packages, current and saving. Let's say this is a current account and this is a saving account. Okay. And both have these same modules. Let's say math underscore ops operations.py and math underscore operation.py in saving. Okay. So this structure I have already created. Okay. Now let's do some code here in mathsutils.py. So I'm going to create one. I'm going to define one function. Let's say add. Okay, and it will have two values a and b. I'm going to open a function with colon. Then with indentation, I'm going to return a plus b. Okay, pretty simple. Let's create one more function. Let's say define function with multiply. Okay, very simple. It is also going to take two values a and b. I'm going to open with colon and indentation, and I'm going to return a star b. Okay, and let's assign a variable pi of value 3.14159. That's all. Okay, so I'm not going to call this function from here. Okay, this is just a simple nats utility to add two numbers or multiply two numbers, and it will have a specific value of a pi. Okay, that's all. Now I have created main.py here. Just going to okay, main.py I have created under the same one. So maths.util was here and main.py is here. Okay, so now I want to use these functions which I defined in a maths.util into main.py, right? If I try to call add, okay, let's say add, and I've given a value 10, 20. So compiler gives me error, right? That unresolved reference are because main.py is not able to find this add function here, right? So in order to use the functions in order to use another module in this module, right, I need to import that module. So how to import that? Let's learn that first. So I'm going to import with import keyword and have to give a module name. So my module name is math.utils, right? All right. Okay. So now this way I can actually uh, use the add method inside this. Okay. So how do I use that? I need to do math.utils.add. Okay. And now compiler will not give me any error, right? So this is how I can use another modules functions here in another module. Okay, so I'm using add method from the maths.util into main.py. Okay, so let's use multiply here as well, and I'm going to give 4 dot something like that. Okay, and I can use the variable as well. It is not just limited to the functions, define functions from the another module, we can use py as well, right? Here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to print all these things. Okay, and see the output. I'm going to print this as well. Multiply. And I'm going to print py value as well from mathsutil.py. Okay, let's run this now. And as you can see, it has given me a sum of 10 and 20, then multiplication of 4 and 2, and the pi value, right? As you can see, every time I need to use this maths.util, right? So instead of that, I can also use adds. Okay, so maths.util adds, let's say empty. Okay, and instead maths.util, now I can use, I'm just going to comment this out. Okay, and now I can use empty dot add. Okay, so this is how, so this is an alternative that you can give a module name as empty. Okay, now what if I want to do I want to use only add method, not the entire module here, right? So I can do as add, and I can remove, sorry, not like this, as empty. We see how we can add only method in a mixed classes. Okay, so where we are going to learn the packages. So this is one alternative, like you can give license to your module name as well. Okay, so let's move on to the package. I'm just going to show you, like in my current package, I have nas.ops, which has a square method, which will take any number and multiply it. I also have maths.ops here, but this is a empty, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the same thing here in the savings as well. Okay. Sorry, not in my package. I think I have already created saving. Okay, and here I'm going to use the same method. So my both the Python module have the same functions, right? Okay, just make a note of this. Now what I'm going to do, I have this libraries.py, right? And I want to import the maths.ops from the current as well as maths.ops from the saving. And how I can import that? I can import, I have to give a package name saving, right, dot maths.ops. So this is a one way, like how you can import from the package, how you can import modules from the another package. And from the current module, I want to import maths.ops. So now if I print, if I want to use saving.maths.ops, right, dot square. So this is how I can use with the dot. Okay, 5. I'm going to use current dot maths.ops dot square. I have to give a 10. Okay, so let's run these first and check. So I'm getting the squares, right? So I'm getting these squares from the saving package and maths.ops square function, and this 100 values here I'm getting from the current package, maths.ops module and the square method. Okay, now this is like what I would say, this is one way, like you import directly. But what if I want to import something like this? Okay, so I can use from saving Okay. So from saving, I want to import maths.ops. Okay. As, let's say this is from saving, right? So smath underscore ops. Now I can use from current import maths.ops as, this is from current, so I'm going to alias it with cmath slash ops underscore ops. Okay. So now, okay, now what I can do is I can print, let's say it's math dot square 5. Okay. I want to print instead as math op, I want to use cmath dot ops dot square of 10 and rerun it. So you get the same output. Okay. So this is an alternative when you want to use this kind of import. So from first you give the package name and then you import whichever module you want to import. So because this, there is chances that there are multiple modules, right, from this. So this is also you can use, Python. Now, like earlier I showed, right, I can use one more format. So from saving that maths.ops, okay, I want to import square as, let's say square 1. Okay. So this is also I can use, and specifically mentioning from this module, I want to import this method here. Okay. This function I want to use as a square 1. So instead of importing the entire module, I can use the methods as well directly. Okay. So here instead of saving, I will be using current.math.apps. Okay. And now I can use, so I can print square 1 5, and I can print square 2 10, and let's run it again. So I get the same output. Okay. So there are 3 ways from like you can import these things. Okay. Okay. So now what any Python file is a module. Okay. How you can create a package will have this underscore init underscore dot py file, which Python understand this is a package. Okay. And inside the package, if you have any method, you can import it like this. Okay. So there are 3 ways you can import it. Okay. Let's move on to now built-in libraries. So I'm just going to, let's say, in here built-in libraries. So Python also have some built-in libraries, right? And you can directly import it. Okay. So let's start with the random first. So random module. Okay. And how do I import it? Import random. That's all. Okay. So this is a built-in library of a Python. You can import it as a import random. And let's say how you can use, let's say I have a variable value 5, b is 10, and I want to generate, or I want to print any random value, okay, from this range. Okay. So rand range, and I have to give like initial value a and b. Okay. Now what will, so we have already imported this module, right? And this is a one of the function of the random module, and I've given 2 values a and b. So it will generate any random value to between 5 and 10. So if I run this, you see 7. But next time if I run this, I get the 6. I run it again, I get 7. Run it, I get the 8. Okay. So any random value, it will generate between 5 and 10. Okay. So this is our random module you can actually import. Next, let's move on to math module. So this is also inbuilt library of a Python, and how you can import math. Just say import math. That's okay. So now you can do a maths function inside this class. Okay. So let's say I have a num1, let's say 45.6. Then I have a number2, let's say 8, and I have a number3, let's say minus 36.01. Okay, and I'm going to use that math module which I have imported. So I'm going to print math dot field. Okay, field of num1. Okay, so num1, as you can see, is 45.56, right? 45.6. But when I use a seal, it will give me the nearest complete number, which is a 46. Okay, so same like a seal, I can use floor as well. So here I'm going to do math.floor for number1, so which supposed to give me a 45, which will give me a floor value of this decimal, nearest floor value of this decimal, so which is a 45. Okay, then I can use print dot math dot factorial as well. So I want to find out factorial of a number2, and if I run, so this is a factorial of a number8. Okay, then I can also print math dot fabs. Okay, num3. So fabs is nothing but it will give me a absolute value of a number3, which, so here as you can see, it's a minus 36.01, right? But if I run it, I'll get the positive value, the absolute value of this number. Okay, so there are many maths functions you can use. Okay, once you import it. So I'm not going to tell you everything. What you can do is just type in math and bot. Okay, so here are some math methods you can use. Okay, so like this, you can actually do a cost. You can find a cost value of it, right? Some expressions. I mean, there are a lot of maths expression you can perform. You can find out logarithmic. You can find the power of x and y. You can find out sine, square root, right? So all these are the functions you can use from the maths library. Okay, so this is how you can use inbuilt libraries like random and a maths in a Python. Okay, so now next we are going to learn regular expressions in a Python. Okay, and when you are going to, so regular expression also, this is a inbuilt library in a Python. Okay, and most of the time what happens, the requirement is to pick specific pattern of a string and modify that data only. Okay, and how you can import that regular expression in a Python, simply you type import RE for a regular expression. It's a short form. Okay, so now we have imported RE. Okay, and let's start with the first thing, first function of a re, which is match. Okay, and let's understand what is a match. If the pattern matches only at the beginning of the string, then it will give me a true value. So let's say I have a variable x equals to, I'm going to see, let's say v dot match. Okay, so I'm going to say match hello in a string hello world. Okay, and so what I'm saying, I want to match this pattern into this string. Okay, so second parameter is the actual string I want to look into. First one is the pattern, and it will match a pattern only at the beginning of a string. Okay, so let's say if I want to print x and run this program, right? So as you can see here, re.match object span 0 to 5, and match that it matches that and give me the output. Now we have something called search as well in a regular expression. So what search does is it searches the entire string for the first match. Okay, and let's take an example of this. So let's say I have a variable x equals to v dot search. Okay, and here we have already seen r string, right, in our earlier example. So I'm going to use that r dot stat. Okay, I want to see SAD in a string Prasad. Okay, so Prasad has this SAD in it, right? So it will try to match that, and I'm going to print something based on a x. So if x is not none, okay, then I'm going to print pattern found. All right, and I can also print the start of that pattern. What is the start index of that pattern and what is the x index of that pattern. Okay, and in else part I'm going to print pattern not found. Okay, so now let's run this program and you can see I get the output pattern found and I get the starting index 3 and the end index is 6, right? So if I see 0, 1, 2, 3, right, at 3 index I see this SAD S, 8 and D. Okay, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 6 is exclusion here. Okay, so from 3, 4, 5 only the actual is there. So 6 is the end. Okay, so this is how it prints. So now I'm going to use one more example, the same example here. Okay, just to show you how case sensitive that search is. So I'm just going to write something here, comment it out like this. All these things are case sensitive, right? Case sensitive. I think there is a typo error. Sensitive. Okay. And here instead of SAD, I'm going to just make it capital, right? And let's see if I get any output. So it prints pattern not found, right? Because this SAD, this pattern is very case sensitive here, right? Okay, so here even as a small, here if I just make a small letter as a capital, S as a capital letter, it will not give me a reason. So just make sure you understand these patterns are a case sensitive. Okay, now let's check another functionality of this. So what I'm going to do is okay, let's start with find all. Okay, so now this will returns all matches in a list. So here search will give me only a first match. Here the match will go only that will check only at the beginning of a string, right? But what if I want to find all the matches in a list, right? So let's create one text and let's say apple, banana, apple, okay, and mango. Now let's try to use our regular expression find all method. Okay, I want to see if it has the apple in txt that we created earlier in the list. Okay, let's run it. No, not run it. Let's print it out as a print x and now run it. Okay, so it has given me all the matches, right? Apple actually comes twice here in list. So that's why apple is available in this text twice. So it will give me all the matches. Okay, so this is how a find all works in a regular expression. So next, what we are going to learn, split. Okay, so split will split string by the given regular expression. Okay, so let's take another example. Let's say I have a 1, okay, comma 2, then semi-comma, sorry, I have to make it in a quote, 1 comma 2 semi-comma, then 3, then I will not have a comma, I will have a space, verb, and I'm going to end this string. Okay, and now I want to split this string, so I'm going to use split function based on some characters. So I want to split by comma, I want to split by semicolon as well, I want to split by a space as well. Okay, and which string I want to split? This text. Okay, so let's check the output of this, run the program, and as you can see, this has, oh sorry, I have one more bracket here, a typo error. Let's rerun, and it splitted my string with the characters I have given. So it's splitted by 1, this comma, this semicolon, as well as this space. So I get the results 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is how you can split with the regular expression. Next we are going to check a sub. Okay, so sub will actually replace, okay, replace string, okay, with matched pattern. And let's take an example of that as well. So let's create another text here, and let's say 100, then I have a cats, then let's say comma 200 dogs. Okay, and I'm going to use sub, and let's say I want to see if there are any digits available, 1 or more digits available. I want to replace that with X, okay, from the text. And let's print it out, the X, and see what is the output we get. So 100 and 200 replace with X in this text. Okay, so this is the pattern I have matched. I want to see if there are any 1 or more numbers. I want to replace that with X in text. Okay, so I get the X cats and X dogs. Okay, so now we have, in order to create a pattern, we need to deal with some meta characters. Okay, so what are they? Let's check meta characters. Okay, so first character we are going to learn is dot. Okay, so this is useful when you want to check a pattern with any character except new line. Okay, so let's take an example. My string will be Prasad. Okay, and I want to use regular expression dot search. Okay, so what I want to search is P 1 2 3 4, okay, D, okay, in a text. So I want to see any string which has a P capital letters and this dot will be like, consider this dots will this dots meaning is any characters between P and V. Okay, so I'm checking 1 2 3 if we have any 4 characters between this, and let's print it out X. Okay, let's see, we have a match Prasad, right? And yeah, I get the match object, and this is the span where we get the output. Okay, so here 1 2 3 4, correct? So Prasad has a 4 name, so I have given a 4 dot characters here, and I get my result. So what if I decrease 1 dot and rerun? So I get a none. Okay, so it has to be exact number of characters if you want to match that pattern. Okay? So this is how we use a dot character. Now we have this caret. Okay, so this character can use to start to check start of string. Okay, and to understand this, let's say I'm going to use re.search. I'm going to use this caret. Okay, and let's say PR. So I want to check whether this string starts with the PR. Okay, starts with PR or not. And I'm going to print X. So let's run this, and you can see it's a match, right? So this is how you can check it starts with the string, this string starts with PR or not. Okay, let's check another character, which is a pipe. Okay, so this is you to check either of pattern. And to check this again, I'm going to use dot search. Okay, so let's say I have a PR and capital PR. Okay, and text. So I get a match PR, right? So this PR is not available, this capital PR is available. So this is how you can see either of the pattern is available here or not, right? I can do this as well. So in Prasad I have a SA, so I can do that as well, but it will give me only a first latch. Okay, so this is about a pi. Oh wait, I haven't printed it. Print X. Yeah, okay, it will give me only a first match. So let's take a next character, which is a dollar. Dollar actually used to check end of string. Okay, so let's say re.search. Okay, and I want to check my string ends with SCD or not. So this dollar I have to give at the end of a string. Okay, and I want to check txt. Okay, so let's print result and run it. So as you can see, yes, it's a match. At the end of string we have a SCD in a name Prasad, in our text Prasad, sorry. Let's see a star. So star you actually use when you have a 0 or more repetitions. Okay, 0 or more repetitions. And the example of this, let's say we'll use re.search, and then so Prasad have RA, right? And let's start and let's check into a txt. Let's check this pattern into a txt and run it. So RA is a match, right? So So RA here you can see RA is a match, right? It's a one or two occurrences, right? But what if I return here? It's a 0 or 1 occurrences, right? So let's say instead of RA, I've given a KA and it has a none, right? That's KA does not have any occurrences, right? So similar to star, we also have a plus meta character, and plus is to check we should at least have a 1 or more repetitions, right? So unlike a star, if we have a 0 repetitions, we get a none. Sorry, even if we have a 0 repetitions, we'll get a true. If we does not find our pattern at all, then it will return me a none value. But here in plus, we at least should have a 1 or more repetitions. Okay, so let's take example of that. Search, and here I'm going to, let's say, RA plus, okay, in our string txt, and let's print it out x. So here RA is a match again. Okay, so this is how you can use plus, like 1 or more repetitions. This plus I also use somewhere here, right? So I want to see a digits. D is for digits, 1 or more repetitions, right? Here I have I had a 2 repetitions. So next we are going to check the question mark. Okay, so question mark is to check 0 or 1 occurrence. Okay, so let's see the example of it. So let's say we have EB in txt or not. Okay, 0 or 1 occurrence of AB in txt or not. Okay, let's print it out and run it. And we have A in it, right? So it's A is available, B is not available in Prasad, so it will have a match A. Okay, because B will consider as a 0 occurrence, but A will have a 1 occurrence. Okay, now if I want to see exact number of repetitions, right? So we can use a curly braces and in between n. So this is to check exactly n times. Okay, so let's say instead of Prasad, what I'll do is PRRASAD. Okay, so I have given a R as a repetition here, and let's search it with if I have a R exactly 2 times, okay, in a txt. So this is how I can write x a pattern, and let's print x and run it. So I get R twice, right? So I'm checking if R is a twice. If I make it as a tree, I will get none. Okay, so this is how you can check exactly n times the pattern. Then we have n comma curly braces. Okay, this is to check n or more times. And again, I'm going to just modify our text with something like PRRRRASAD, okay, for this check. So let's say I have R, okay, exactly 2 comma something like this into a text. I get 2. Sorry, I did not print it. X. So here match I get it, right? 2 or more. So yes, I have 2 or more here, right? What if I make it as a 7 or more? 7 or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is there. So when I make it as a 8, I don't think I will get any pattern. Okay. So this is how you can use n comma times pattern just to check it. I can have n m as well, right? So n comma n. This is to check between n and m times. Okay. So let's take example of it. I'm going to modify txt with prrasad. Okay. And let's again use re.search. Okay. And the pattern will be I want to check r. Let's say I want to check between 2 to 4 times. Okay. Intro text. And let's print x here and run our program. So RR is there, right? 2 to 4 in between is there. Okay. So if I just make this value more, okay, or maybe if I just change it, then it may not work. Okay. So this is how n and f works. Then we have a brackets. Okay, square brackets. This is to check a character set. Okay. The shape too. Okay. So let's modify the text again. I have prrasad and I'm going to use same re.search. But this time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a square bracket. Okay. And in square bracket, I want to see KJS. If these characters, okay, K, J or S, these characters are available in txt or not. And I'm going to print it, run it. So S is available, right? So I'm checking either K or J or S. So S is available, that's why I get this match. If I just tweak this with the T and run it, I get another, right? So this is like K or J or T, okay? I'm just going to change it back to a S. So this is our character set you can match. Then we have in a square bracket, we can have a negated. Okay, so caret we have already used just to take a start of a string. But if I use in a bracket, we get a negated set, negated set. Okay. So what I'm just going to copy paste this example here, but instead of AJS, it is going to open this thing, right? So I don't want K, J or S characters in a txt. If I rerun it, sorry, yeah, exactly. So apart from KJS, I get a P here, right? As a first, so I get the results. Next is D. We have already seen, but this has to be /D, just to check digit. Okay, and I'm just going to modify a text here. Let's say PRA, some random number of digits, then character, and again some digits. Okay, let's check with re.search. Okay, and again I'm going to use r string here because we have a backslash in our pattern. So /d and plus. Okay, I want to check if number any one or more occurrences of a digit here or not. Okay, so that's why I'm using a plus after a digit and run it. Okay, I have to print it again. Print. So I have this match, right? So it gives me a first match only. Okay. All right. So let's see capital D. Okay. So this is to check a non-digit, and let's take the same example here, but we'll just change it to a capital D. Okay, and rerun it. So yes, I get a results PRA. Okay, so non-digits result I get it. So this is how we work with the digit. Then we have a W, oh sorry, slash W, and this is a word character for just to check word character. Okay, so word character example will be like A, Z, comma, capital A to Z. So this is a range actually I'm giving. Then we have 0 to 9. Okay, then we have underscore, something like this. Okay, so let's check with another text, and let's check P 1 2 3 4, something like that. All right, and let's check how we can use this with the search. Again, I'm going to use a R string here because we have a backslash. So W, and I want to check more than one or more than occurrences in a txt of a word characters, and I'm going to print X just to check the results. So yeah, we have a match where we have these characters, right? These word characters. So I get the match. And we also have a capital W. As you already guessed it, this is to use for a non-word characters. And let's take one more example here. So 1 2 3 4 5. After 5 I'm going to give a space. I'm going to add @ character slash underscore, something like this. Okay, and here I'm going to change with the capital W letter and print it out. So as you can see, so non-word, right? These were the word characters. So space space @ and hash are the non-word characters. So I get these three matches. Okay. Okay. So what next? We have small s. This is for white spaces. This is to check white spaces. So what are the white spaces? Our space is a white space. Tab is also white space. New line is also a white space. Okay. So let's check that. I'm going to take this example again. X is equal to v dot search. I want to use as R string, and I want to check if there are one or more spaces, right, in a string txt, and I want to print X. Okay, so yeah, I get the space as a match if I use a /s. Okay, now we have a capital S as well, and you might have already guessed it. This is for non-white. This is to check non-white spaces. Okay, so I'm going to use the same example. Instead S, I'm going to use a capital S here. Okay, and let's run the program again, and you can see, so before space I get this match. Okay, so that's all about the meta characters in a regular string. Okay, in order to match some patterns. Let's check one of the use case where this regular expression actually gets used. So let's say I want to validate 6 digit pin code of a user, right? So let's take an example. Let's say I have a pin code 11, and I want to see whatever this pin code user entered, is this a valid 6-digit code or not, right? So I can use with the regular expressions. So I want it to return a boolean value if my pattern actually matches, right? So I want to use lee dot for match. Okay, I'm going to use a r string because I'm going to use a digit \digit here, and I want to see it, this digit exactly have a six occurrences. So we have already seen this digit as well as this number of characters, right? And where I want to see this thing, so I want to see this till. Okay, so let's run it, and it gives me a 2, which is a regular expression actually used to check um, pin code, any kind of email validations, any kind of incorrect outputs, right? So there actually you can use a regular expression. I'm just going to paste one more example, one more use case, not an example. So let's say, just comment it out. Validate password rules. So most of the time you have seen some forms actually have these rules where we have at least 8-character password. It at least have one uppercase, one lowercase, one digit, and one special character. So I have this password and have to make a pattern here. Okay. So one more thing that you will not understand is these things: question mark and plus. Okay. So this is a look ahead pattern. This is called a look ahead pattern. Okay. So all other things I have already covered. You will understand it. Just go through once. Okay. How we can match whether our password has all these rules available here in the pattern, right? And I'm going to use, I'm actually just checking whether this pattern matches this password or not. Okay. So if I run it right now, I'm getting a true value. Okay. So this will be an assignment for you to understand this pattern on your own, as I have already explained it, but this is the use case I wanted to show you. So that's all about all the module packages, built-in functions, and the regular expression in a Python. Okay, so we have pretty much covered all the basic things that you will be needing in your daily programming. So about this series, we left with only 2 videos. So next we are going to either check up file handling or exception handling. Okay, and then we are going to close this basic introduction to Python series, and then next series I'm going to create with a different chapter. That series will be called advanced concept in the Python. So that's it for today. See you, stay tuned, see you in next video. Thank you and bye bye.